Just a couple of days earlier, this was in the Congo, Secretary Clinton snapping at a college student whose question was mistranslated to say, "What does your husband think?" instead of, "What does the president think?"
What does Mr. Clinton think through the mouth of Mrs. Clinton?
Wait, you want me to tell you what my husband thinks? My husband is not the Secretary of State. I am.
Look, I think all of this, we look at the Clintons through, I think, a funhouse mirror. Anything they do, anything they say is interpreted, parsed, pulled apart to take on some, well, I'm getting to that point, and I wrote a piece for our Postpartisan blog yesterday that said, "You go Hillary." For someone, she's in a country and on a continent that where generally male supremacy rules. And so she's asked a question by someone that's translated as asking, what does your husband think of this foreign policy situation? And she looks at him and says, ask me. I'm the Secretary of State. And so she's sending a message to the men and women in that room and in Africa that she will not be condescended to, and not as a woman and not as Secretary of State of the United States of America. I thought she did absolutely the right thing then, and when she found out that the translation was wrong, she went over to the questioner, shook his hand, and they had a little bit of a conversation, hearty smile. She did exactly the right thing. And so, yes, I agree with Dave. I agree that, there's sexism involved here.
We all want an America defined by deep and meaningful equality, from civil rights to labor rights, from women's rights to gay rights, from ending discrimination. There are no acceptable limits, and there are no acceptable prejudices in the 21st century in our country.
We have a common task and a common challenge.
Why can't we see that we are all in this together?
18 million of you from all walks of life. Women and men, young and old, Latino and Asian, African American and Caucasian, rich, poor and middle class, gay and straight, you have stood with me. And I will continue to stand strong with you every time, every place, and every way that I can. The dreams we share are worth fighting for.